What do you got?
I don't know what else can you say.
I
He's just so many things that wouldn't exist today without Lovecraft. The list is endless. You know, and it's weird because it's like so many things that exist as a direct result of Lovecraft, and yet I feel there's so many people that still don't like know what Lovecraft is or don't read Lovecraft, so they
Yeah,
don't
he's
understand
almost like
necessarily
it's
how.
weird because he's mainstream yet obscure at the same time.
Yeah, yeah, it's an interesting dynamic because most people know things that his work inspired, or might even know. They might know what Cthulhu is. Have seen Cthulhu before, but then at the same time, they've never read any of his stories, and they might not even know who H.P. Lovecraft himself is. They might have only ever heard of Cthulhu. So it's this weird dynamic and I guess that's kind of like how his life was. He was kind of an obscure writer during his life, and even though he has gained way more mainstream following today than he could ever have dreamed of when he was alive, it's still like it's kind of this weird like halfway between mainstream and cult following. You know?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
Well,
It's just it's just mind boggling to think just how influential somebody's work can be
yeah,
nearly 100 years after it's been written.
yeah,
That
yeah.
it's
He's
still
definitely
it's
gonna
just taken on such a life of its own.
he's definitely gonna go down as one of the greats. Up there with Edgar Allan Poe, and
Yeah,
he's definitely on that level, and will be remembered, I think, for many years to come.
yeah. He was also influenced by another guy as well, Lord Dunsany, uh,
Hmm.
who he was an Anglo Irish writer who did a lot on in who did a lot of fantasy works. I don't
Hmm.
really know his work a whole lot, but that was another big influence. Like those were his two, was Poe and Lord Dunsany.
Yeah.
Also the Satanic Church has like also it took some elements from Lovecraftian from some Lovecraftian items. I haven't watched the show Lovecraft Country. That's like a new HBO show.
Oh yeah.
I don't have
I've heard of it. I
I
haven't
don't have
watched it.
HBO Max, but like I have been curious to check it out. Oh, that's what it is. The satanic rituals. Like it 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 used like parts of like the Lovecraftian works. Like it has an essay that like claims that the Lovecraft works carry a partial truth to them, and they kind of use it in the same symbolic manner as Satan.
Hmm.
And there was like some guy named Kenneth Grath of the Typhonian Order. I don't know what that is. I've never heard of that one. I guess it's like another occult group, but he incorporated the Lovecraft mythos into his rituals and occults. But like he did it in more of like a literal sense.
Hmm.
The Church of Satan maybe like borrowed things a little bit looser. Like maybe they had like a hierarchy in a similar way, but like this guy was a little bit more a little bit. He just kind of like took it a little bit more directly.
Hmm.
But it's just a lot of like crazy stuff. I mean, there's also like a site that like I check out every election called I think it's like Cthulhu for President.
Yeah.
I had actually once written like a song that for like Zamboni called like Cthulhu for President. We just never really did it.
Yeah.
It was, I mean, it's a goofy little tune, but it was probably would have been like a really like dumb song. So I'm kind of glad that I never did that one. Um, but like there's like the Cthulhu for President stuff is it's just like every year it's just like it like the year just changes, but it's not and like whatever his it's cthulhuforamerica.com, that's what it is.
Yeah.
And like, you just like, he just kind of takes whatever the whatever like the current political messages from like the bigger from like one of the parties, and like he just kind of turns it on it, and like they just turn it on their head, and it's just like got all this like silly little Cthulhu merch that like is specifically Cthulhu 20 whatever or 19 or like or whatever year it is. Like his logo is similar to the Obama shell, but instead of like the shell for the O, it's just like the tentacles over the C. It's like green and like, I remember he had like a shirt a while ago that just said "No life matters." Oh, here it is. It's Cthulhu No Lives Matter. Or there's like Cthulhu 2020 Big Apocalyptic Change or something like that. There's another one, why vote, like his main campaign is why vote for the lesser evil. Like,
Oh yeah.
it's just funny stuff.
Yeah.
Or there's like a make Rulia great again shirt. It's really funny. I would like to get some of these things, but I don't think that it's a good idea because I don't think enough people would get it. So I will probably not own a piece of this merch, and I will be very sad. But deep in my heart, I will always vote Cthulhu.
Yeah,
I think
there's a famous painting of like, I don't know who it was done by, but it's like it's a picture of like Jesus holding like the Constitution or the Declaration of Independence or something, and like all the founding fathers are there, and they're all like, it's supposed to be Washington D.C., and they're all like put their hands in their hearts. Well, someone like redid it, and instead of Jesus, it's Cthulhu, and like there's like just like a pool of blood, and the little kid is like putting like a friggin' like eldritch sign on the like in blood on the piece of paper.
oh, that's
And like
awesome.
and like all the like people are like fish people and stuff, or like they're missing eyeballs, and like blood is just running down there. It's pretty awesome.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Now I want to search this up.
Yeah, it's
God, I see exactly what you're talking about. That's amazing.
Yeah.
No, the kid paints like the the elder god symbol or something.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah, all the presidents like don't have their like they have their eyes and their tongues cut out.
Yeah.
Like, Lincoln's holding onto his intestines. This is crazy stuff.
And there's like all these like fish people in the background and stuff.
Yeah, and like the city, like Washington D.C. is just burning.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's awesome. Maybe that'll be the Cthulhu tattoo. Like I'll just get it as like a big back piece. Oh, that is so awesome.
Anyway,
that's the graphic. I'm using that for the graphic when we put this on YouTube.
Nice.
Oh.
Well, do we have anything else to say about Lovecraft?
I feel like we can go into an endless loop, an endless time loop, if we're not careful.
Oh yeah.
So no, I don't think I don't think there's anything that I have to say about H.P. Lovecraft. He was a man who lived and died by his work.
Yeah.
And it's a pity that he didn't get to see what it would become. But this man created just limitless possibilities for what his work would inspire.
Yeah. It really just, a great writer, imaginative, really inspired generations upon generations of artists and writers and
Mhm.
musicians and everything after.
Yeah. Oh,
So
one that's what I wanted to add. The another guy who does a lot of great Cthulhu based artwork is this guy Michael Whelan.
hmm
He did a lot. He did like a lot of album covers. He did like the first Demolition Hammer album, which was based on the which was like one of his like Lovecraft based pieces, as well as the first Obituary album.
okay,
Um, he has like a lot of cosmic horror stuff.
that's cool.
He did the Evil Infected Nations art.
Okay, yeah, I
So
know that
he's
one.
so like his work is like heavily like influenced by like Lovecraftian stuff.
Yeah,
His stuff is really great too.
yeah.
I may have the Demolition Hammer like album tattooed on me also at some point in time. I showed
Yeah.
it. I had like a thing that like I showed I showed our buddy Ben an incinerator one time, where like we had been talking about getting like bro tattoos, and like I just
hmm
found one that like combined the New York and Texas thrash metal that I like, just kind of combined. Like I combined the first Rigor Mortis album cover with the first Demolition Hammer album cover, and
Nice.
like, I was like, all right, this is what we should get, and he was like, yeah, let's do it. And it has not yet happened, but it might happen someday.
Yeah.
But yeah, the guy's legacy speaks for himself. And even though there are
Yeah.
a few like, asterisks that you do have to attach to his name based on his beliefs on the time, it was the guy's work was just far ahead of his time, and
Yeah.
now that everyone can appreciate it, I hope that in some, if there are ghosts, or if there is that spiritual world where like, where the remnants of the past actually can see what's going on in the present without interacting with them. I hope that he's able to see what I hope that his essence is able to like see that his success actually has been fully realized.
Yeah. Well, I think the fact that he's his name lives on today, even like just is just that is kind of like he lives on. That the fact that his work lives on is like he's kind of lives on in a way. So